you ready to make technology work for you? Tune in to Act on Tech, the podcast where we break down the latest tech trends and show you how to boost your productivity at home and in your business. So, subscribe to Act on Tech today and visit alexcustomtech.com to see how we can take your business to the next level. That's Act on Tech, your guide to smarter tech for a smarter business. Alex Custom Tech, IT means integrity and trust.
Hello, hi, this is Alex of Alex Custom Tech, and today we're going to talk about backups. So, in the tech world, let me give you the definition of or the concept of backups. So, backups are a computer backup is a copy of a computer's data that stored somewhere else. Backups allow users to restore their data if lost or corrupted. That's pretty much the synopsis or the definition of what a backup is. You guys have cell phones, and you guys have take a lot of pictures on your cell phone, and Apple offers this, and then I'm pretty sure Android has a version of this where they have like a cloud storage thing where you can store your pictures in the cloud. And what it does, your phone has this local hard drive or local storage on it, and you take the pictures with the phone and it's stored on that local storage, and it's actually physically on the phone. There's a software that Apple has or Android will have that will also copy those pictures and store it in the cloud, which is where you get that stored elsewhere concept. And if you lose your phone or your phone is damaged or whatever, that local storage is corrupted or gone, when you get a new phone, you can ask the cloud to restore those pictures on your new phone, and that's how backups work. Now, as far as options of backups or what kind of backups or where it's located, that's where you're going to the weeds, and every situation is different. Every company offers a different kind of backup system, how they process it, whatever. It gets really complicated, and sometimes it might becomes overwhelming for users, like businesses or personal people, homes to decide it. And it might even decide that I don't think I need it. But even though businesses are more inclined to need that backup, I think more and more as we go along and we're relying on technology as we do, homes are going to require this too. Because I know personally in my home, my home is more technology inclined than other homes. My wife and my kids, they're doing a lot of things online, and they need that backup solution also. So it's good for a home to have a solution for it. It doesn't have to be elaborate like a business has, but it still needs to have some way of getting those files back in case of something goes wrong. Like right now, this is January, and California is literally on fire. I'm pretty sure people lost their pictures and all that stuff is on their phones. When they ran out of the house, they probably didn't take their phones with them or their laptops or computers or whatever, right? If they have a backup system elsewhere, when they get back on their feet, they can just download those things and they can go on with their life as if nothing happened. As far as that part is concerned, their pictures that they have that they cherish, they can get them back. So backups are important, and depending on what you're doing as a business, this becomes even more important, right? Because you might need customer information and that kind of stuff that you might need to, God forbid something happens, you can pull that back. Now, also one of the things that backup does, there is when it comes to security, internet security, there is something known as ransomware. So what ransomware does is that you click on something or you install something on your computer, and nefarious people take control over your computer and your data on that computer, and they lock it up. They encrypt it. They lock it. You have no access to it until you contact them, pay them some ransom money, and then they release that information. If you have backups, you can ignore that ransom. You can say, I'm not paying you anything, and you just reinstall Windows on your computer or whatever, and then pull your backups back, and you can go on your merry way. So there's backups that can take place at different time. So there's backups that can take place, incrementally. There's backups that can take place at the end of the day. Take backups all the computers in your industry, in your computer, in your business. You can back up things. You can set it any way you want to set it. And there's a ton of companies out there that offer this stuff. Again, back on your tech guy, he can walk you through that. You can probably set up a solution for you guys in-house, something on the cloud. I don't recommend just having stuff in-house. I think you should have in-house and then cloud, because you never know what could happen locally in your organization. So you want to have it in-house and then a variation of it in the cloud. This is why I love the cloud. This is the concept of the cloud that I really enjoy, is that you can back things up to the cloud, and then later on you can pull it back when you need it. So a lot of companies offer backup solutions, and you can do it yourself. There are companies, there's software that's readily available in the open source world that you can download on any computer you have in your laying around, and you can install this application, and it's very well supported too. Like, people in the community support these software, and you can throw a couple of hard drives in there, a couple of terabytes hard drive, and you can start backing up your computers in your local organization. Windows has a solution, and there's a ton of solutions out there. And recommendation wise, that's hard, because I do all of my backups with something called ReadyNAS, and that's something that's in the open space world that I manage and control, and I prefer that. But there's so much. I don't think there's any bad companies out there that you can use. The reason why I don't worry about backups as far as like the companies are concerned, because you won't be doing this on your own. You'll have your tech guy, MSP, help you with that. You can say, what's the backup solution? They'll recommend something, and then they'll manage it for you. And as long as you follow the instructions that they give you, you really shouldn't have any problem. You should have peace of mind knowing that in case your data get corrupted or you lose it, they'll restore it. As long as you're doing what the thing you're supposed to do. Like, again, nothing in life is foolproof, but with this, you can rest assured that you will have your backups when you need them. Right now, again, every business is different, so you have to figure out what's the best solution for you. Let me see, backup software. Let's see what's out there. All right, because Windows have their own thing built in to them. So Barracuda has a software, right? And Veeam is one that I hear a lot about in my space here. People love Veeam. Again, these things are like the subscription platforms, but they come highly recommended. Right. So there's a ton of companies out there that seems to be where you can go get your backup solution done. Right, but like I said, you can just always go with your Windows computer. Windows has some kind of a backup solution built into the OS. I think Apple has that too. And sometimes, if you're like, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. You can go to Best Buy or Micro Center and grab a couple terabytes portable hard drive, plug it into your computer, and back up your computer at the end of the night. You can do that too. You can do that for yourself locally without even a tech guy. Right? So, and then because it'll just show you how to do it. But ReadyNAS, people can buy ReadyNAS. I think ReadyNAS has a cloud subscription also, so you can have that. You can buy ReadyNAS, put a couple of hard drives in there, have it in your business, and your companies will back up to it also. So again, you what I'm trying to say is that don't have your business without a backup solution. you need to have some kind of backup solution. How elaborate you want to be, that's going to be determined by you and what you think is important, not important. All right. But I think either if you go grab a hard drive from Best Buy, plug it into your laptop at the end of your day, and back up your laptop so you have the latest backups yourself, or you go get a Ready NAS, have a MSP come in and help you set that up. Have something in place. Beg you, because like I said, these nefarious actors out there are really aggressive when it comes to the ransomware and locking people's computers down and preventing them from getting to their data and having you shell out hundreds of dollars to pay to get your information back. If you have a backup solution, this cannot happen to you, right? Because you will have a alternative to that happening. So, backups for me, it was always a hard sell, because I'm selling something kind of like insurance. So I'm saying, get this thing in case something happens, and people don't really like to spend money on things that's not tangible. And I'm a horrible salesperson. I don't know how to do sales. I don't have a sales department in my business. I really don't. I don't do the whole marketing thing. It's a different topic, but as far as I'm concerned, marketing for me is like a sign. I do this. You need help? Call me. Okay, that's marketing for me. I don't really do anything else. But I've never really sold backup to customers. I presented it as something that they'll need, and if they believe me, they'll take it. And if they don't, they don't. I mean, but I've had customers that didn't take it and call me freaking out because they lost their data. I never came across any ransomware, but I've come across hard drives dying. Hard drive dying, and the business goes down that entire day until I come in there and get everything back up and running, which costs them a lot of money because I'm literally starting from scratch. If they had backups, I would just back it up and restore the backups, and it would have been up a lot faster than a whole day or 2 days. So it's not just the hacking aspect of it, it's just anything can happen, and you can be down. Have your backups in place. I'm not saying you have to go out there and get me or someone like me to come and charge you an arm and a leg and 2 toes to get your backup system in place. Not that an arm and a leg and 2 toes is a waste of money. It's not, because when the problem happens, the arm and the legs and the 2 toes is not going to be a problem for you because you're able to get yourself back up fast. But if you literally can go to Best Buy and pick up a hard drive and plug it into your computer and back it up. You really can do that. I'd rather you have something than nothing. So that's how I would approach the backup. So yes, it's one of the things in IT that we do offer. I mean, a lot of companies are way better than it than I am. Like, I'm not a sales guy. Like, I just love technology and what it does and what the problems it solves. I can't sell anything. I can't sell anything for the life of me, because I don't think that I just can't. It's just not one of my things. But this in particular is hard, because what happens is that how am I going to sell you something that you don't see the need for until it actually happens? So yes, so backups are important, definitely backups. And even again, and aside from businesses, your phone, people are so attached to their phones now, and they do everything on their phone, and your phone might die. Then what? You're going to lose all those photos you took? You're going to lose that information that you have? You're going to lose all that stuff? If you back up your phone, you get a new phone, you get all your information back. So it's still valuable, even for residential users, for personal use. It's still good to have. So don't worry about it. Get yourself a backup solution. You don't have to pay an arm and a leg for it. You can do it yourself, or there's a ton of reasonable priced solution out there. Like I told you, as far as business is concerned, I just do Ready NAS, and I'll do Ready NAS, or I'll do Netgear has one, and FreeNAS, is out there. Actually, I think I do FreeNAS. ReadyNAS is the actual one you have to pay for. FreeNAS is the one that we use. That's the open source one. I mean, you build a server, and then you put a couple of hard drives in there, and then you run the operating system ReadyNAS on it, and voila, you got a NAS system. But that's what I would implement. That's what I use it here in the office and in businesses that I set up. But you can go get a ReadyNAS from Newegg or Best Buy or Micro Center, and you can go to town with that. Or you can just pick up a hard drive at Costco, 4 terabytes, and you can plug your computer into the end of the night and back it up. So there's a ton of options out there. I'm not gonna dictate to you and tell you what you have to do. In this podcast, I'm just saying you have to do it. You need to have a backup solution. Definitely a backup solution. How you're gonna do it, that's up to you. I think it's too vast for me to say do this, do this, do this. If you hire us, I'm using FreeNAS, right? Or depends on what your business is. I mean, because some businesses are a little bit more sensitive than others. But my go-to is FreeNAS, and then I'll probably look into a solution that I gotta pay for some kind. I'm actually even leaning towards offering it as a service, because I have the rack space in my server rack. I could probably put a couple of servers in there and do backup solution, which is one of the things I am thinking about. But I want to see if I can get a white label to do it with. But again, because I do think it's important, and I do want to offer that, even if I feel if I can offer it locally. But I cringe, especially in this day and age where people are just like winging it, and you see all these stories out there, all these things that are happening, and people are not protecting themselves. And it's a simple thing. Let's get a backup solution. It's not hard. So yeah, I have to get that off my chest. Definitely. So yeah, backups. So let's see what's out there. Okay. Let's see what's out there as a solution to you guys. So like I said, Veeam seems to be one, and a lot of people talk about Veeam in my space here, in my tech space. So right. So Veeam is one, and Veeam is VEEMA, right? So it protects your data, but I think it's for like organizations and stuff like that. All right. And then there's another company here. I'm looking at Google, looking at this one. It's RUBIRK. I don't know how to pronounce that, but this automated backup and recovery. So you want something that maybe it's like, dummy proof. These guys seems pretty cool, right? They seem like they're pretty good, and they'll help you guys out with that. I'm pretty sure your computers you buy from the store comes with some kind of a backup. iDrive 360 seems to be an endpoint backup utility storage. Let's just take a look at them. See, and it's only $14.95 a month, right? Right, so that looks like it's more for like IT companies. But also I'm thinking about it too, like in businesses, your emails. It's another thing. You can back up your emails. So for your backup for your Microsoft Office 360, you can back up that stuff. So you wanna, again, it's just so much reason for you to get it than not to get it. All right. So let's look at this. And again, it's like, how do you calculate your ROI? It's return of investments. And this is what I said, like I talk about the sales aspect of it. It's hard for me, it's hard to sell it, because I'm telling you to get something that right now when we're talking is not a problem. Like your computer is working fine, everything is fine. You can get your data. Like why you telling me about what's going to happen when nothing is happening? I'm a swindler, right? And I can't get over that part of it, because that's probably what I would think if I didn't know. So that's why I appreciate this podcast, because I can just like vent and talk about these topics that is on my heart and that I do experience with customers. But I'm not talking to a customer right now like directly. I'm just talking to you guys into the void, and I'm saying, yeah, backups are important. Don't worry about price as far as the price is concerned. Like, get something that's within your range of price or your budget, but have something in opposed to nothing. That's what I'm trying to say. But it's not a sales pitch, you know. And a lot of things in IT I struggle with, other than just the actual work, because I like doing the work. It's just that some of these things are concepts. It's hard for people to grasp, you know. Like, they'll say, well, what's the best email system to use? Like, I use Google. I use Google because of the ecosystem that they have, and it's a no-brainer. I like Google. But some people like Microsoft 360, right? I don't think Google has the cloud thing down to the T, so I'd rather using them. But people have cloud on Microsoft 360, and it works really well with all the other Microsoft stuff, so why not use them? I mean, again, there's no right or wrong answers to this. There's something with a backup. Like, you need a backup, without a doubt, but whoever you choose is okay. You know, as long as you're happy with them, that's fine. But I'm looking around here on Google to see, you know, what are the options, and it's like there's so much. There's so much to choose from. Power CHUTE Personal Edition. There's another backup solution there. It's just so much. Windows have its own built-in backup thing. Like I said, you can play around with that on your computer to see what it does. But I said I always recommend just get a hard drive and plug it into your laptop and see what you can do. Let's see what Barracuda seemed to have one. Let's look at Barracuda for a minute. Barracuda, that company I'm pretty impressed with them. They've been on for a long time, and they offer a lot of software solutions, right? They also have hard drives for like NAS and security system, and I thought that's pretty cool. But they have minimum downtime to prevent data loss, so they have that. I'm going to check out their website. Let me see. Barracuda. Oh, yeah. It's going to be something I will fill out. I don't want to fill out anything to go get. I'm not really interested in it. Why is not show me any? Let me see. Please recommend, Windows 10 backup. Alright, let's look at this one. I'm on the computer looking around for backup solutions. So, like I said, network attached storage, like your Ready NAS. You can buy one of those and plug into your network, and you can back up the computer with that one. The reason why I said you can get that, it requires a little bit of knowledge, but not too much. So you don't really need to get an MSP or a tech guy to come in here and do it. You could just like go on YouTube and watch a video and set that up. It's kind of like plugging a hard drive into your laptop and backing it up that way. You can set up schedules and how it should back it up and when it should record over the first backup. You could tweak it like that and you can get familiar with it. But again, it's something better than nothing. So I would recommend you get somebody in there to set it up for you. But if you want to play around with it yourself, do that yourself. At least you're still doing something to prevent that problem from happening later on. These hacker guys are really over the top. And I use the word hacking, try to maybe this is a part of manipulation, but that does happen. People do have ransomware, and that does happen to their computers. But it could just be simple situation as your hard drive dies, okay, or your computer don't boot anymore. Okay, when you go run out to Best Buy or run out to Micro Center and get a new laptop, then what? Your files are on the old computer, right? But if you had the backup, you can just plug it in, restore your files, and you're gone again. Like, so you're down for like 2-3 hours in opposed to like a week or 2 days. How much money are you gonna lose in 2 days because you were not prepared for that to happen? Again, you can't prevent everything, and there's no solutions in life, only trade-offs, right? So you put a lot of money up to implement the backup system, and then when you go down, which will happen eventually, there is something there. And that's the thing, it is going to happen, right? How it's going to happen, we don't know, but it is going to happen. I came home the other day, and I have a very powerful computer in my office, and I came home and it wouldn't boot. It's just getting the spinning window, and I'm a tech guy. I'm getting the spinning window thing on my computer. and the last time I turned it on, it was fine. It happens. So back up, 100%. Like you'll never hear me say get a virus protection, because you don't need a virus protection. Not this day. And again, you might say, but how would you not need a virus protection? Because Windows is really good at protecting your computer with the built-in virus protection it has. Windows Defender. You don't need to get another one. You don't have to buy anything else from anybody else and get any third-party thing. That works, right? So you never hear me try to sell you that. But I'm telling you, back up your computer. Back it up, 100%. So, yeah. So we're looking around on Google here. We don't see anything. I don't know. Google's behaving badly today. She's not giving me any good things to choose from. I mean, some companies are coming up, like best free backup software of 2020. People like, Tech Radar. Let me see what Tech Radar says. Because even if it's a free software, you still can do it. Like, at least have something here. So yeah, I'm familiar with this company, EaseUS, which is EASEUS. That's something that I've used before. Google Drive. I didn't think about them, but yep, that's a backup solution. But you're gonna have to pay a little money for the storage, right? Google Drive is an option, and Paragon. And these one you could write down and look them up. Paragon backup and recovery. That's also something you can use. I don't know which one is this. Cobind Soft. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I'm not too sure about that one. Let's see what we got here. Internex. And yeah, ease of use. Saw that one already. And F backup. This is I think this is a free one. That's just something for you to look into to see if you would but again, do something. Don't just be winging it like these guys. Like I said, I've come across clients and computers that things that happen, and I'm like, you guys should have backed this up, man. You guys should have backed this up. So here we go. Let's look at this one. 10 backup softwares. Commit Backup. Recognize that name. Cove Data Protection. Microsoft 360 Backup. Like I said, Microsoft always have one. Ninja One is also a backup solution. iDrive, Cloud M, BDR Suite. All right, Manage Engine Recovery Manager Plus. Salesforce. Don't even get me started on Salesforce. Salesforce is a software that people use. I mean, pretty much a lot of businesses use Salesforce. It's ridiculous how mission critical Salesforce is. Can you imagine having Salesforce, needing that for your sales staff and not backing that up? You're not backing that up? Literally not. Can you imagine the catastrophe if you don't back that up? So again, it's like I'm saying, this is not even up for debate at this point. You need to have a backup solution. So Salesforce has one built in, but you probably have to pay for it or something like that, set that up. You probably can back it up outside of Salesforce. But there's a couple of solutions out there. You Google it, you can see again. And these free ones, I wouldn't just jump on them, of course, unless you're technically inclined. Check with your MSP to see if they can help you set them up. Or if you want to go the route like I told you, you can just go to Best Buy, pick up a 2 terabyte, 3 terabyte hard drive. Say you're a guy and you're a gal and you have your own laptop, you have your own small business, whatever, you're running off your laptop. Plug up a portable hard drive into it, 2, 3, 4 terabytes into it at the end of the night and back up your laptop. Right? And then later on, if anything should happen, you have the backup solution there. Have something in place. That's all we're saying here at Alex Custom Tech. Have something in place, right? The solutions are there. We just gotta utilize it. All right, guys? Okay. So let me see what time it is. I went overboard with this one. Okay. As I always say, stay productive.